Hello again, and welcome to the I'm in Love with That Song podcast. This time around, we'll be listening to The Cars and Just What I Needed. I'm Brad Page, your musical tour guide here, and each episode of this podcast, I pick a favorite song and we explore it together. No musical knowledge or experience is required here. We're just going to put our ears to work and see what we discover. So, let's open the hood on this one and take a close look to see what makes this song tick. This is The Cars and Just What I Needed.
I guess you're just what I needed. Just what I needed. I needed someone to feed. I guess you're just what I needed. Just what I needed. I needed someone to bleed.
Guitarist, singer, and songwriter Ric Ocasek passed away recently, so I thought it would be nice to feature a song by The Cars. Growing up in Massachusetts like I did in the 1970s and 80s, The Cars were huge. Ric Ocasek and bassist vocalist Benjamin Orr met in Cleveland, Ohio. They played in a number of bands together before they moved to Boston in the early 1970s. They had a band called Milkwood that released one album in 1973, but it didn't take off. Milkwood was kind of a folk rock band, nothing like what we'd come to expect from The Cars. That band split up, but Ocasek and Orr continued to work together. Eventually, guitarist Elliot Easton came aboard, and they started a band called Captain Swing. When that band failed, Ocasek, Orr, and Easton recruited keyboard player Greg Hawkes and drummer David Robinson, who had played with the Modern Lovers, and they became The Cars. On New Year's Eve 1976, they played their first gig at Pease Air Force Base in New Hampshire. They recorded a demo tape in 1977 that got significant airplay on local radio, including WBCN, which was a really influential station in those years. They were signed to Elektra Records and released their first album in June 1978. Their sound, which merged guitar-driven power pop with the new synthesizer-oriented sounds of new wave, was really unique, and it caught on in a big way. They were voted Best New Artist in the Rolling Stone Readers Poll, and their self-titled debut went on to sell 6 million copies. Just What I Needed was the first single released from the album, and it really sets the template for The Cars' sound. The album was actually recorded in London and was produced by Roy Thomas Baker, most famous for producing Queen. Just What I Needed was written by Ric Ocasek and featured Ocasek on guitars, Elliot Easton on lead guitar, Greg Hawkes on keyboards, David Robinson on drums, and Benjamin Orr on bass and lead vocal. The song begins with one guitar playing muted eighth notes, while the other guitar, the bass, and the drums only come in with a heavy accent on the fourth beat. Sounds pretty simple, right? But there's a few tricks going on here to give those accents the maximum impact. Both guitars hit the accent beat. The guitar tones are similar, but not identical. Here's one, and here's the other guitar. Again, guitar 1 and guitar 2. Their tones are just different enough, and by panning one a little to the right and the other a little to the left, together they sound like one massive guitar. And check out what Ben Orr is playing on the bass. He's actually playing 2 notes an octave apart, which thickens up the sound even more. Add a single snare drum hit on each accent, and the result is a simple part that packs a lot of punch. After the first 4 measures, the accents change from a single hit to 2 quick stabs. By changing it up, they keep it from getting boring, and it builds more anticipation.
I don't mind you coming here.
Now, as we get to the first verse, notice how the sound changes. The drums come in with a simple snare hit on every beat. The second guitar starts to double the chugging eighth note pattern of that first guitar. It's also panned to one side.
I don't mind you coming here.
Did you notice the change there? Again, the guitar tones are so similar that you really have to listen for those subtle changes. Also, the bass guitar joins in, but it sits out the first measure before it comes in.
I don't mind you coming here, wasting all my time. 'Cause when you're standing oh so near, I kinda lose my mind. It's not the perfume that you wear, it's not the ribbons in your hair.
Ben Orr had a great voice. Let's listen to that vocal track.
I don't mind you coming here and wasting all my time. 'Cause when you
Benjamin Orr was born and raised in America, but he would sometimes sing with a bit of an accent.
It's not the perfume that you wear, it's not the ribbons in your hair. And I don't mind you coming here and wasting all my time.
Now let's listen to the harmony vocals. Ben adds his own harmony part on the second line. Then he sings the last two lines in unison.
It's not the perfume that you wear, it's not the ribbons in your hair. And I don't mind you coming here and wasting all my time.
Then it's finally time for Greg Hawkes to join the party. He plays a simple but memorable keyboard part. Elliot Easton throws in a nice little guitar part as a transition into the second verse.
I don't mind you hanging out and talking in your sleep.
Drummer David Robinson gets to play a full drum beat through this verse.
As long as it was deep, yeah, you always knew to wear it well.
Greg Hawkes plays the same keyboard melody under the vocals here, but with a different tone on the synthesizer.
And talking in your sleep, I guess you're just what I needed. Just what I needed.
Here's the chorus. Let's break this down. There are two rhythm guitars panned left and right, and a keyboard part in the center that's doubling the guitar parts.
Just what I needed. Just what I needed.
Here's the bass part. Listen to how it's overdriven. They've put a little hair on this track. Now this is interesting. Almost buried in the mix is this really interesting guitar part playing a whole different melody. So those are all the individual components. Now let's listen to how they fit them all together to make the chorus.
I guess you're just what I needed. Just what I needed. I needed someone to feed. I guess you're just what I needed. Just what I needed. I needed someone to bleed.
Next up is the guitar solo, and this is some great playing. This is quintessential Elliot Easton guitar work. It's thought out, structured, very memorable, and just enough flash at the end. love that solo. Here's the last verse.
I don't mind you coming here and wasting all my time.
I always liked how he says time there. Now, here's where the drums get interesting. For the first 4 measures of this verse, he plays it straight with the accents on beats 2 and 4, as you would expect.
I don't mind you coming here and wasting all my time.
But for the next 4 measures, he turns it around and puts the accents on beats 1 and 3.
Wasting all my time. 'Cause when you're standing oh so near, I kinda lose my mind, yeah.
That quick change unsettles the rhythm of the song, like the ground is shifting under your feet. It's like you lose your sea legs for a minute. Again, just when you thought the song might be getting predictable, they throw you off kilter.
I don't mind you coming here and wasting all my time. 'Cause when you're standing oh so near, I kinda lose.
Back to the regular beat.
It's not the perfume that you wear.
Listen to the drums. He's going to switch it up again.
I don't mind you coming here and wasting all my time. I guess you're just what I needed. Just what I needed. I needed someone to feed. I guess you're just what I needed. Just what I needed. I needed someone to please.
Nice little guitar lick there.
I guess you're just what I needed. Just what I needed. I needed someone to feed. I guess you're just what I needed. Just what I needed. I needed someone to please. Yeah, yeah. So please me.
And a nice touch to the bass part there.
So please me. You're just what I needed.
And now the lead guitar is going to double the synthesizer part.
You're just what I needed. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And let's listen to Ben Orr's vocal right there at the very end.
Yeah, you're just what I needed. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Here's the whole ending, the big finale.
You're just what I needed. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just What I Needed by The Cars. This album featured 3 hit singles, but many of the other tracks went on to become classic rock staples. Listening to this first Cars record today, it plays like a greatest hits album. That is something that few bands accomplish. Ric Ocasek died unexpectedly on September 15th, 2019. Benjamin Orr passed away from pancreatic cancer on October 4th, 2000. But the other 3 members are alive and kicking at the time of this recording. Elliot Easton has played on multiple projects like Creedence Clearwater Revisited and the power pop supergroup The Empty Hearts. Greg Hawkes has been playing keyboards for Todd Rundgren. Thanks for joining me. I always appreciate it, and I'd love to hear your feedback. You can find me on Facebook. Search for the I'm in Love with That Song podcast. You can find me on Twitter at PopStaffTweets as part of the Pop Culture Podcast crew. And you can find me on email at lovethatsongpodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd be so kind, please leave a review wherever you listen to this show, because more reviews help more people to find the show. Thanks again. I'll see you next time. Here is Just What I Needed by The Cars.
I don't